Say yes to new beginnings.
Yes.
Say yes to new standards of excellence.
Yes.
Say yes to engaging reportage with a difference.
Yes.
Introducing Yes International Magazine. The time to say yes to your dreams and aspirations is here.
My guest tonight is Mr. Charles Sotudo. Mr. Charles Sotudo is the head honcho at Abstract. He's also one of Nigeria's most acknowledged brand specialists. Tonight, we hope to, or we intend to have branding and advertising, the difference, what it really means. All right. So what exactly does branding mean?
Branding is the process of creating. What does branding mean? First of all, let me define what a brand is. A brand is owned by the consumer, but the product is owned by the consumer. The brand is owned by the consumer, but the product is owned by the manufacturer. So, what is a brand? A brand is that stuff that you trust that will give you value each time you purchase it. That stuff anything you trust that will give you value each time you spend your money, that will give you value. So let's go into the technical part of what a brand is. Some people say a brand is a source of trust. Some people say a brand is an entity that you create based on consistently investing in the equity. And that way you get your equity back long term. Then, for me, I'll combine all of them and say, I think a brand is, first of all, a source of trust. A brand is that house you run into. And then you say, I want this, and you get it. And what you're buying is what you're getting, in the layman's language.
All right. Now, what is the difference? Branding and advertising.
No. Brand management creates the internal, advertising creates the external.
Okay.
So brand management and branding creates the internal, the content, internal, while advertising gives you what you see on the outside. Your billboards, your radio jingles, but there's a lot of work that goes between the thinking process and the product. From the product, the bottle, the shape, and all those stuff, that's what brand strategy comes into. Advertising is where you get the adverts that will come to yes. You say, oh, we got 12 pages. That's advertising. But what branding does is the processes that give birth to everything you see at the point when advertising takes over.
All right. Now, Mr. Charles Sotudo started out with advertising. Along the line, he went into branding. Why did you quit advertising for branding?
Because I saw a gap and I wanted to fill the gap. There's a very obvious gap there, and I wanted to fill it, and I did. There's
All
a
right.
gap
So how?
between. Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead. You were still trying to explain something.
In your formative years, you see gaps. Okay, let me push it back to you. You were somewhere and somewhere and somewhere, and now you're doing yes. Why did you do yours? Answer. Now you go somewhere, but mine was a bit different because you are a bit still in the same sector. I saw a gap between advertising and brand management, brand strategy, and the content that goes out. And knew that each time I walk into a restaurant and I pick a meal, what I saw on the billboard is not what they give me. So I saw a gap between the promise and the delivery. So I decided to fill the gap between that promise. When people promise we'll do this and then you don't get it. So I realized that brand strategy fills the gap between advertising, between branding and so the brand management, product development, behavioral, all that fills the gap between branding and advertising. So I decided to fill that gap. And it's a specialist area. It's like you're a gynecologist or a general practitioner. So I'm a specialist.
Interesting. Now you said you saw a gap and you decided to fill that gap. How much of that gap would you say you have been able to fill so far?
A lot. A lot. You want to,
Okay.
we for the sake of we can't mention brands there for certain reasons, but we fill a lot of gaps and we keep on filling. And we're still filling some gaps because we notice that most of the clients that come to us have a gap they've seen and they come. So most of the brands we work on are either short gaps or mid-term gaps or long-term. The worst we've done, the highest we've done is 4 years, and then they notice there's a gap again, we still refill. So it depends on the brand. And let me get a small case study. For instance, if oh no, let me not use a housing firm, an oil firm notices that they want to fill a gap in a sector. They are not doing this. So they come. They tried advertising, pushing all the stuff. It doesn't work. The challenge is this. Where branding comes in is we go in and we look at what we call the brand health check. The brand health check tells us what is wrong with our brand, and it's intentional. We put in place a process to confirm what is wrong with the brand. And we don't prefer solutions based on perception. So we go in, we analyze. When we get analysis out, we tell the client, this is analysis, do you agree? The client says yes, then we present a strategy. We do not present strategy without analysis. So the same way you go to a hospital, your doctor touches your forehead, I think you have fever. We don't do that. We are very painstaking. So brand management is about being painstaking. It's tedious, but long term it pays off because all our results come out top notch. None of our clients, we've never had fatality. None of our clients have come out dead.
True. I like that. Now, so why must an organization or an individual be interested in branding?
Because your brand is the foundation on which you build everything. If you want to build a 20,000 story building, your foundation must be 40,000 stories underground. Your branding and your brand strategy is the foundation on which you build everything.
Interesting.
That's why look around you. You have a lot of brands that are very loud, But look around, too many issues. Brand management ensures that that area is managed well, long term, both short term, mid term, and long term.
Wow.
I rather use the word brand
Brand
management.
management.
Yes, because it's the process.
All right.
Branding is different from brand management.
Okay. What's the difference between branding and brand management?
Brand management is the internal processes that gives birth to the branding you see on the outside. Brand management is internal.
Okay.
It's science. It's more or less the processes. I'm not saying page.
Interesting. Interesting. Now, your journey into brand management, how did it start? How did it begin? How did it commence?
Mm, mm. Okay, I had my first job in advertising world was that I always wanted to be in advertising. So when I finished, I left. I finished my NYSC. I applied in all the agencies in Lagos State, Lagos, the big ones then. Insights, what's their name? I can't. All of them. And Insight shortlisted me. They were in Eric Moore then. And I was so much in a hurry to get a job. So I left Nigeria, went to work, and in an airline abroad, I came back. And I now I kept on cutting clips, I kept on cutting clips of all the most outstanding press materials I could see. I used to cut them, I used to keep them. And then one day, I got a job working in a gym. I used to be into a lot of fitness a lot. So I went to work out in a gym and I got a job there. From being a gym instructor, I became a gym manager, and then one man came there to work, and I give him all I was expecting to tomorrow. His name is Mohammed Ajaro. So he came and said, "You must come to my office tomorrow in Apapa." That's how I joined shops back for the cycle. So let me tell you the story that I'm not told anywhere. So I used to live in Antony. I didn't have a car, and I had only one jacket, a tweed jacket, a blue shirt, and a black pant. And it was raining heavily. From Antony to Apapa, how many buses we go through. So I put all my stuff into a nylon bag and I entered a bus to Oshodi. From Oshodi, I entered the motorway. The motorway was looking on my head. So when I got there, you asked the story, right? So by the time I get to that office, that's shops back on the Sage, I went down under the steps and I changed quickly. And as I walked in, they asked me two questions. What's your name? I told them. Why do you want to work here? I told them. They gave me the smallest table. They said that table will humble you because we know you have made money. We know we can see money in you, but we know you made more money. So they gave me the smallest table. And I started and I've been an entrepreneur before, don't forget. I've done a lot of stuff on my own in the gym sector, business that managed that sector, but I had to start as a trainee. And I showed them all the ads. I just showed them all the ads that the cutting out from newspapers. Stay on that table. They gave me the smallest table. And my boss was Helen Emore. She taught me how to fly. Emeka Ikade. And what's his name again? Award-winning writer. I will not mention his name. He's an associate professor now in America. Isi Osondu. Those guys taught me how to fly and how to write. That's how I got into there. And then my bosses, Mary Sage, Tim Bankole, the many of them. And that's how I got in there. And then the many remains history. Until this, I've not told this story before.
Good to know. All right. Thank you. Thank you for that.
I got in there, and then within 6 months, I was promoted Within that 1 year, I was promoted again. Within, I became manager, and now people remains history. And my friends call me Tornado, and that's you understand that, you know what I'm saying. That's how I got it there.
All right. All right. What an interesting story. Now, why are most people ignorant, of the advantages of branding? Why are most people ignorant when it comes to branding or brand management?
And because it's unlike advertising. Advertising has been there for many years, and then branding is just brand management is specialized. It's like you're saying you're a general practitioner, you're a doctor, you're a pharmacist, and you're an optometrist. It's specialized. So in this sector, there's lack of awareness, first of all, and it's still an evolving sector, but it's very, 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 very lucrative. Very. Especially if you understand the intricacies of it. So a lot of people do not understand it because the easy way out is advertising. Advertising is creating out there, but there are few agencies that are trying now to merge brand management and advertising. There are few. I'll not mention their names, but I respect them. There are few. Only 3 on my finger. But only 2 that can create the impossible in terms of brand management, brand strategy, content, the way it's meant to be done in Nigeria right now and West Africa. Only 2. And we're one of them.
I like that. Mr. Charles Otudo, I like that. I like that. Now, to have a taste of success in brand management, what must one do?
You need to be organized, you need to be structured, you need to get a mentor, you need to first of all be grounded. What are the basics on which you want to do this? Why must you even do it? Are you sure you want to do this? There's some basics. You have to understand, why do you want to do this? Why? Because it's tedious. It's very tedious. But the rewards are long term, yes, but it's very tedious because it's not a one-off. It's not short term. Wow. So tedious, painstaking, consistent, disciplined, and focused.
Yeah, when was the first time you saw anything about branding, or you had that word branding?
What was the first time
ever that you had? Yes, that you heard about the word or the word branding.
I can't remember. I'm turning 50 very soon. My brain is going. I'm sorry, I can't remember. I'm being very honest. I'm being honest now. If I remember in the course of this, I'll tell you. You know, when you're turning 50, a lot of things. Okay, maybe 10 years. No, wait, hold on. Let me think. Hold on. About 15 years ago.
All right. Can you remember the circumstance?
I was in school.
Oh. Okay.
I went to school in South Africa, and I was in class. And yes, I remember now. I went to school, and I was in class. My first time I went to school, and they mentioned product development and brand extension. How you can develop a new product and extend it. That's the first time.
All right. So far, what would you say has continued to sustain your interest in brand management?
Because it's natural to me. Without it, I'm dead. It's just natural to me. It's just the only thing I love to do. It's a way of life for me. Nothing else. Apart from this, I'll be driving, and then my family, and then God. Nothing else.
Okay. So, what
No. Azuh, hold on. Let me ask you. It's time will change now. It's time. I'll ask you 5 questions. You ask me 2 questions. Okay. Why did you join? Why did you start? Why did you do? No, no,
At
okay,
least
okay, 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 okay. Let me ask you only one
I'm
question.
behind the wheels. All
Okay,
right, go
what?
ahead.
Why did you go into journalism? You've not told me this. Let's balance
I've
this for me.
always loved. I've always loved to write. I've always
For,
found writing fascinating.
for your mother's womb, you were writing, right?
No, I didn't start from my mother's womb. I didn't start from my mother's womb. I've always, from when I was in either primary or secondary school, friends have
Amazing.
always admired my command of how I used to string words together. So I guess that was
Okay,
what they started. Yes. So back to
okay,
our interview again.
okay. Go ahead, go
Yes,
ahead,
when
go
you
ahead.
study your own interview, yes. So what gives you the greatest joy, about what you do now?
When I see a brand that is zero, that that is like maybe having not not known comes in and we give them bets and it's just flying. Ah, or when I see a brand that's having an issue and we intervene and the client says we are happy. For me, that's enough for me. Nothing else. When
Would
the
you like
brand,
to share? Go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
when
After
the
you have
client is
landed, go
happy,
ahead.
once a client is happy and says I am happy, my worst day is when a client tells me I'm not happy. Oh my! Everybody in that team, my team, are in trouble. But when the client says,
Okay,
see the bottom line is this, after 3 months we're doing this, the financials are good. Woo!
okay. Would you like to share with us some of the brands that you have done one or two things for, and today they are doing wonderfully well?
I'm plenty now. When we start from GT Bank, Cross River State, Refined Homes, IMAT, IMAT Realtors, um, Rise and Lead. There are many now. Where do we? I don't want to talk about the old ones. There's some brands that have changed their names now. They're still doing well, but this is not supposed to be a commercial platform. It's meant to be intellectual. Okay. For, Mhm.
No, I'm trying to merge
And my
both.
no, my clients do not like the noise. Okay, okay.
All right.